Okay, so this is really important, this whole dealing with grief, because not just the Twin Towers and not the things that, happened to us personally and things back in, like the Holocaust and stuff. The Shiva is known as the goddess of death and birth at the same time and letting go. And I think we're entering, well, right now, we're in this Easter time where it's about, the crucifixion, which is seen as death and loss and grief, and then resurrection. It's a demonstration of the Shiva, in a sense. But the emotions are very intense, and how we guide our emotions through this is how we create. So we want to be conscious in our creation, not just unconscious. And we've been guided by society and religion and all sorts of things on how to work with these emotions in a way that has kept us depressed and down and imprisoned. So this is about guiding these emotions in a conscious way into our peace, our ease, and our expansion of love. So I'm just going to read something that was given to me in January of this year, and really working with guiding us through these experiences of grief and loss and expansion and death. I'm just going to do a short portion of this. The first portion is on a YouTube that I just posted yesterday, April 2nd. So this is the next portion. You play this game of birth and death, celebration and grief. Does celebration only belong to birth and grief only to death? Remember, this is a soul game, a game we take seriously. Why get stuck in birth equals celebration and death equal grief? Play the game better, my dears. Play the game better. Remember the flow. Allow your grief to accompany your celebration, and your celebration your grief. Honor and appreciate the creative contributions this life offers our collective history. Honor and celebrate with joy. When you feel the joy, you may know that you are living the truth. The grief alerts you to the presence of false thinking, like a virus. Caution to where you place your energy currency. Your false belief in loss and death creates fear and grief energy coins that feed the non-life, non-true distortion fantasy of departing from the divine. Nothing is departed from the divine. Everything just changes. Why do you believe in these unreal, non-life illusions? Why do you feed them with your energy currency? Why do you pretend that they have life equal to yours and place yourself under their subjugation? This is when we feel victim, when we feel like we don't have control. Why do we feed them with our energy currency and pretend they have life equal to yours and place yourself under their subjugation? Wake up and make your choices wisely. This is conscious creativity. Invest your energy currency in real life to receive divine blessings. Your investments bring a return. Invest your energy currency wisely. Step out of the matrix of non-life illusions into pure living. I'm going to say that again. Step out of the matrix of non-life illusions into pure living. This is the message of Yeshua and many other beloved playmates on this earth plane that have transitioned in the divine flow with much blessings and love. So the way we see things, the way we interpret things, is the thoughts that are creating what we experience. And there are many, many ways of experiencing the same situation. Like if you look at all the different ways people celebrate the transition of Earth life to the beyond. There are places that really celebrate with parties, right? Celebrating the finishing of this book, right? This book of life, this particular life here. And that know that the conclusion of this book leaves room for a new book to be written, a sequel perhaps, like in the Twin Towers. There's it's the oneness tower now, right? It's the oneness. It's one complete with reflection pools. So where we can reflect on ourselves, reflect on what has been the thought creation for what we received in the present. And do we want to create the same today in our tomorrow, or do we want to create something new in our tomorrow? So that's what everything that we're giving with reflection. And when we have the deeper emotions, whether they're grief or joy or just a deeper emotion, it takes more attention to this is where our life lesson is. This is where our story is, that we need to expand our love. Everything is an opportunity for expanding love. So, this is something, the experience is really continuing to touch you deeply, Mats. It's about really allowing yourself to go through it and create the expansion of love through that. And I highly suggest, doing that guided meditation to help you through it. This time, Easter time, a lot of people go into the deep grieving of the death of Christ. But what he really showed us is there is no death. I mean, he lives on. He's still living on with us, right? And he also said, what I have done, you've done, you can do too, but even better. So somehow we continue to believe in this death concept. And there's a huge propaganda going around now to make us believe in the fantasy of this death concept where some invisible terrorist called a virus could attack us from anywhere, from our neighbor, from our child, from our, so that it's a game. It's another game. And we buy into these psychological games because we've been trained that way. And we can, play those games, be in our, suppressed, depressed victimhood, unconsciously creating by somebody else's suggestions, or we can just get quiet, get into our silence, get into our nothingness, get into the void. Just as in the Bible it said God started in the void, and from there decided, let there be light, let there be beautiful plants and animals and what, we can get into that nothingness within ourselves and do the same thing. Oh, I would love to experience blah, blah, whatever, I would love to experience that. And then just leave that in our consciousness of what we want, no matter what we're seeing, no matter what we're hearing. In fact, you might want to just not listen to a lot of stuff that's out there, right? And so I want to address here, Calbane is saying also, that what has been happening, it's been a big propaganda. Sweden, who does a lot of research, found that 91% of the people who died of COVID, really with COVID, you've got to really pay attention to the language, or people who were terminally ill and dying of cancer or old age or heart problems anyway. And they know in the medical field that these people who are severely, health compromised, they always die of a flu or a cold or pneumonia. I mean, that's naturally what it is. They just put a name on it, like they name people in races and sexual orientations to start dividing us and to bring about fear of attack. There is no attack unless you give your energy currency to the concept of attack. And now the same propaganda is going around with people who are getting these injections of these unnatural materials and dying of that. They are categorizing those as natural deaths. Sweden, who does really clear research, found that 95% of the people who died, who are considered COVID deaths because they died with COVID, not of COVID, were dying already. If you look at the general death statistics, nothing has changed in 2020 since the other years, right? 2019, 2018. Deaths from flus have been higher in other years than they have in this last year. I am not ignoring you. And there are other soul contracts why people have decided to be part of the Holocaust and all this stuff. Actually, I'm not here to change anybody's belief. All I'm here is to help you connect into your truth and your reality, into what brings you peace and ease, and whatever brings you dis-ease or anxiety or whatever. Know that somewhere in there is a distorted thought. And when you can find that thought and find the opposite of the thought that will bring you to the peace and ease, you are honing in on what is true for you, what is your actual truth. I'm all about finding your actual truth, and it's unique for each one of us. So we have every experience in life is there for the purpose of expanding love. When something like the Holocaust happened, it was a wake-up call. Look at all the laws, international laws we made about not experimenting on people medically, human rights, all these things that were created out of the horrifying things that happened in the Holocaust. Now we've got to look at, are those laws being followed again? Or is there a reoccurrence? Whatever. But everything happens for the purpose of expanding love. There is a divine behind everything. I started talking about these violet flame people in our lives, the ones that make huge changes, maybe uncomfortably, because we've come up against them. And I think that we have been unconsciously creating things that we didn't want, right? Things that we absolutely don't want to have in our life, because we haven't been conscious about what it is we really want. And also, I'm just going through and making some referees right here. We are here about making space to really access the truth within ourselves and shed some of these programs and that have been placed on us that deny the truth of what is in our hearts and who we really are. And this is, something that thankfully COVID has given us the time to be quiet and listen into ourselves, right? Nothing is all bad. In fact, everything is an opportunity for expanding love. And then listen into yourself. What is it that brings me peace and ease and I feel with? What is it that brings me anxiety? Whatever brings you anxiety, look at it. Look at it. Look at the thoughts that are there. And then correct those thoughts. I was telling about my cello teacher that said whenever you make a mistake, then play that phrase 5 times perfectly to really imprint the what you want. You want the perfect, expression over that was disharmonious, right? So when I found myself saying, as I was trying to type here, I can't do anything, I caught that and I said, I feel that I can't do anything. And you can use the tapping technique too. I feel like I can't do anything, but I can do a lot. I can do a lot. I can do anything I put my mind to. I feel like I can't do anything, but I can do a lot. I can do anything I put my mind to. I feel like I can't do anything, but I can do a lot. I can do anything I put my mind to. I'm just giving you the tapping technique right here. I feel like I can't do anything, but I can do a lot. I can do anything I put my mind to. I feel like I can't do anything, but I can do a lot. I can do anything I put my mind to. So I just gave you the tapping technique, and that's one of the heart technologies that I share through my Patreon group and my YouTube messages as well. So it's really about taking authority for your life, being the author of your own life, consciously creating, recognizing that up to this point, we've been unconsciously creating. And therefore, we've gotten things in the world that we don't want. We've gotten the wars. We've gotten the starvation. We've gotten the anxiety over whether we can pay our bills or not. We've gotten all those things because that's been our unconscious creation up to this point. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. This is Easter time. This is resurrection time. This is rebirth time. Begin to be conscious of what you have created up to this point and what you are creating going forward. Just open your awareness. Take authority for your life. Be the author of your life. With authority is responsibility, is freedom. Take authority for your life. This is our rebirth, spring, resurrection time. And I thank you for listening to that. And I hope you just have the most blessed life. Open yourself up to finding the blessings, to seeing the blessings that are coming to you. Higher beings respect free choice, therefore they don't impose themselves on you. They are so ready to come in and embrace you with blessings and love, and support, and all you need, but you need to ask. Just ask. Ask for your dreams right now. Ask for your heart's desire. Whatever brings you joy and tickles your heart, ask for that. And then just stay open and wonder. And stay open and allow for these things to come. Trust. Let's let go of doubt. Let's trust the universe. Let's trust the divine. Let's trust the Christ that gave us so much teachings for us to really learn from. Very concentrated. Trust the Christ. Allow his teachings to continue to grow within you as you open yourself and you listen in your quiet space, in nature, not needing to listen to anybody else. Just listen within. Connect with nature, the trees, the birds, the sun, the sky, whatever. And just breathe it in. Focus on your breath and just breathe it in. And you're welcome to my heart yoga that I do on 11 o'clock Central European time on Sundays. Just breathe it in. Use whatever brings peace and ease and joy to your life to really enhance that. Expanding love. Blessings.